And a rough start from the perimeter for Golden State. 0 for 3 from three-point land. They have struggled to shoot well from out there with Steph Curry out of the lineup the last 6 games. And an unforced error there. Durant trying to throw it ahead to Quinn Cook.
If there is any kryptonite to this team when they're playing well, it's turnover. You know, taking care of the basketball. In this building, they can turn it over because these fans, they get you back into it.
You talk about the last 9 days. Obviously, the losing just compounds what happened 9 days ago when Draymond Green went at Kevin Durant at the end of their game with the Clippers. Chauncey, what has to happen starting tonight for the Warriors to move on as Durant is fouled, to move on and to get back to their winning ways?
Well, obviously, you know, the spirit of the team has really been tested over these last 9 days. But, hey, you're at home. And like I said, there's so much value in the NBA and being at home and sleeping in your own bed and eating home-cooked meals, fellowshipping with your family and friends. And it's just so much value in that. So we'll see if they can really kind of get that going.
Well, Steve Kerr told us before the game he expects a lot more energy tonight from his group because of that. Adams with the deep catch and the finish. 4-2 Oklahoma City. The Thunder, by the way, 10-6, but 10-2 in their last 12, which is the best record in the NBA during that span. And they didn't have Russell Westbrook for a lot of those games, but he's back healthy now.
You know what? They have a really good bench. They have guys playing very well. They got a starting point guard that comes off the bench, and Dennis Schroeder, who's made a great impact on this ball club.
And even though the air ball there from Paul George, Chauncey, George is having, statistically, so far, his best season.
He really is. He's doing a terrific job. And I really relate that to just being comfortable, being familiar with his surroundings. These guys have the ultimate confidence in him. And the synergy that he's developed with Russell Westbrook has been impressive.
Thompson falling away, way off. And Klay Thompson on the season, he's never been below 40% from 3. But he's at 32% from behind the arc. He's struggling from inside the arc and forcing it a little bit with no Steph Curry and also no Draymond Green. Those are 2 of the best passers in the game as Jones picks up a foul.
That's right. You're missing 2 playmakers. I mean, Klay is not really an isolation player. He can force some bad shots sometimes, but he can also make some tough shots at times.
Westbrook took a shot to the face that time by Klay Thompson, the first on Klay. Draymond Green missing action for the 6th time in 8 games. Most of those with the right toe, but 1 game because of the suspension following the incident last Monday.
And they always miss Draymond, his spirit, his toughness, tenacity defensively, his playmaking, best playmaker on the team. So they miss Draymond for sure.
Such a challenge trying to defend Westbrook. Thompson, one of the best defenders at the guard position, did well on Westbrook, who's 0 for 2 from the floor.
Anytime you can get Russell to take a fadeaway and a tough shot off the glass, that's very good defense by Klay Thompson.
Warriors 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, but a steal by Westbrook. He was booed on the opening tip. He'll lay it in on the other end. Obviously, the rivalry 3 years old now since Durant left Oklahoma City after being a teammate of Westbrook's for 8 seasons. Here's Durant getting to the rim and lays it home. Kevin Durant with his first points of the night.
Very nice, tough move right there, getting to the basket on really 2 defenders.
Jump stop, no. George on the second chance.
Looking forward to seeing that matchup all night. Kevin Durant, Paul George, 2 guys that play both ends of the floor. Should be a dogfight all night.
24 points per game in the season for George, a personal best. Thompson, and he gets it to spin home for his first basket. Terrence Ferguson missed the last couple games. Beyonce gave birth to a baby girl, so he was home. Russell Westbrook missed a game recently. His wife gave birth to twin girls. Steven Adams finishes.
Very nice move by Steven Adams right there. I mean, he is just a low down on the block. He gets it done. He's very underrated. Plays both ends.
Thompson hits. Back-to-back buckets for Klay.
I don't know if I've ever seen a nice, prettier stroke than Klay Thompson. So glad I'm not in the league having to guard that no more, Dave.
You played against and played with some pretty darn good shooters, though.
Yes, I did.
Do you think it's the best, though, that you've ever seen?
The best looking stroke that I've ever seen, I would say Klay Thompson has that lockdown. But I still would say off of the dribble, I think Steph Curry is the best shooter that I've ever played against and even seen.
And Curry shooting 49% from three. He'll be reevaluated Saturday. They don't expect him to play, though, through this 4-game homestand, although it's possible he could return for the last game against Orlando.
No rush. You know, team needs him right now, but I've said all the time, look at Paul George, still making plays. The big guy making himself available. Very good basketball by the Oklahoma City Thunder right now.
You know, such a charmed existence the last 4 seasons. So, yeah, of course, this is the toughest stretch we've been in. But this is the real NBA. You know, we haven't been in the real NBA the last few years. We've been in this this dream, and so now we're faced with real adversity, and we got to get out of it ourselves.
4 straight finals, 3 championships as Klay Thompson is fouled and will go to the line for 2, and a 10-1 start to the season. But the Warriors have lost 5 of their last 7. Chauncey, is this a quick fix?
No, I don't think it's a quick fix at all. He's right. They've been in a fantasy world, you know, the last couple of years. Hopefully Terrence Ferguson is okay. Got hurt on the foul there. But they've been in the fantasy world for a couple of years. No real adversity, no real big injuries. They've been very lucky, but that fantasy world is now over. They have some things to face. We look at the young fella, Terrence Ferguson, right here. Hopefully it's not too bad. Just landed awkwardly. Hopefully he'll be just fine.
All right, we'll come back. We'll finish up the thoughts on the Warriors' future. Let's take a look at what happened to Terrence Ferguson committing the foul on Klay Thompson. Watch the left foot. Lands awkwardly, was helped off the floor, and is back in the Oklahoma City locker room as Klay Thompson misses a free throw. Career low in foul shooting this year, 79%. All right, Chauncey, let's get back to the conversation, big picture on the Warriors. Obviously, they're going to be able to overcome all this drama. It's a long season, but how quickly can that happen?
I think it takes some time. I mean, obviously some relationships have been fractured in this process, but we as basketball players, I mean, when you get to the game and they throw that ball up, that's your safe haven. So anything that's going on around that, you just feel comfortable that you're back on the floor. Obviously, we've seen KD and Draymond play one game together, and they, you know, the team didn't play great, but they were the same players. So I think they'll be fine on the court. And sometimes, you know, those relationships and just winning doesn't just cure personal relationships. So we'll have to see what happens, but I'm sure they'll be just fine, Dave.
Paul George from outside misses badly on the 3. Offensive rebound, though. And now Grant will try another 3. And Durant with the backside rebound. How about in terms of the future of Kevin Durant? Because obviously that's what everybody's looking to. Most assume the Warriors will be fine this year in terms of winning a championship. But Kevin Durant said yesterday that the Draymond Green situation is not going to affect his decision. Now, there are a lot of people that don't believe him when he says that.
Well, I tell you, you almost have to, you know, listen to what he says and say, well, why would he be lying? But it's tough for me to believe it because nice and one by Jaren Grant. This guy is very athletic. He does a good job for them catching and finishing. But it's almost tough for me to, you know, kind of believe what KD says because I know that when a personal relationship is fractured or bruised, it takes time. It really does. And, you know, we'll just kind of see what happens, especially when somebody that you really spend a lot of time with, they're your teammate, they're your brother, and they say things to you in the manner that Draymond said. I mean, who knows if you ever get over things like that.
And obviously it's not the first time there has been drama within this organization over the last few years. And Steve Kerr said things have died down. It's just we're losing, and that's why we're all talking about it. As Adams misses, Grant tried to throw down the rebound but could not. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's a 4-point lead. Now a foul is called off the ball. As you look at Draymond Green, we talked about him missing Now 6 of the last 8 games with a toe injury. They're hopeful to get him back at the end of this 4-game homestand.
Again, both of these guys are just so critical to the success of this team. I mean, Draymond, the role that he plays for this team is unmatched by anybody. It really is.
Foul was on Dennis Schroeder, and there's Thompson. His 3rd basket, 6 points. Durant has 6 as well. Schroeder, terrific backup to Russell Westbrook, although they're on the floor together.
I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of Dennis Schroeder's. And you talk about him just wanting to win. You know, you look at him, he makes winning plays. He's a good defender, pushes the tempo on offense. They're lucky to have him as a backup point guard.
Westbrook trying to get the handle. Pull-up jumper. And Westbrook can't knock it down. He's looking for his 2nd basket. He's 1 for 4 from the floor. And here's Durant against Westbrook. And Westbrook reaches in and commits the foul.
And we seen Russ miss the shot down there. Him and KD starting to talk a little bit. I love that competitive fire that they played with. I really do.
The 8th time that they have played against each other since Durant left in the summer of 2016. The Warriors are 5-2 in those head-to-head meetings. And if Russell Westbrook needed any more ammunition to dig at KD, he certainly has some for what's taken place over the last 9 days.
It's a perfect time. I don't know if he needed ammo, but he has some if he does.
Here's George. Kevin Durant with the block. But Schroeder gets to the loose ball. Westbrook again had trouble with the pass, but saves it to Adams. Westbrook still trying to get up. Just a little slow to get off the ground, holding his right shoulder. Empty possession, though, for OKC. Sloppy offensive first quarter for both teams. Durant over George, no good. Paul George turns to the official and has something to say. And then a foul on Jerebko trying to defend Steven Adams on the low block. 14 foul as Westbrook will be replaced by Luwawu Cabarro.
I'm just gonna call him Tim. That's a tough name. that's a tough name for me. We're gonna call him Tim.
We'll let you ease into this gig before we ask you to start pronouncing. Timothée is how you pronounce his first name. But Billy Donovan said I call him Tim, so Chauncey, you have free reign to call him Tim.
Listen, I haven't met the young man, but I'm gonna call him Tim.
From France, 23 years old. Was with the Sixers last year. Grant guarding Durant. And Durant goes right at him and loses the ball. George to the rim and the stop.
Very nice play by Paul George to finish.
Here's Damian Lee. Rebounded by George. Lee, a second-year pro out of Louisville. And these teams 0 for 9 combined from three-point range. George tries to change that, but can't. 0 for 10 now combined. Second chance opportunity. The Thunder, the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA, but a bad miss by Tim.
Bad miss by Tim. I love how OKC uses Steven Adams down there. They throw the ball in, settle the game down, and play off of him almost like a pick and roll at times.
Jerebko no good. One minute to go. The Warriors, who are number 5 in the NBA in scoring and, of course, led the league the last 4 years, just 16 points. Livingston gives it up. Lee can't put it in. Durant is there, and he follows it home. And some blood on the right hand of Jerebko. Take a look at the national TV schedule while we have a moment. Coming up on NBA TV Friday, Houston's at Detroit, the Lakers hosting Utah, and then next week Thursday on TNT, Golden State at Toronto, Clippers at Sacramento. Friday in ESPN next Friday, Houston, Spurs, Denver at Portland. LeBron James and the Lakers won in Cleveland tonight. Standing ovation for LeBron James when he was introduced. No surprise, right, Johnson?
As it should have been. As it should have been. I mean, the things that he's done for that city, for that franchise, for that region, if you will, has been remarkable. I mean, LeBron James he's a great, not only a great talent, but just a wonderful person.
Look at what he did in his homecoming in Miami on Sunday. That was after last week passing Wilt Chamberlain with a 44-point game, moving into 5th all-time in the NBA scoring list. He did miss some free throws down the stretch, though, of this game tonight, but the Lakers able to win that game and go to 10-7 on the season.
That game was a little harder than I thought it would be for the Lakers. I knew they would show up and be ready to compete against LeBron, but I thought it would be an easy game.
Cleveland just 2 wins on the year. Still cleaning up the blood on the floor. And it's on Steven Adams' jersey as well. That's the reason for the length of the stoppage here. So George, Grant, Adams, Cabarrot, and Schroeder on the floor for the Thunder, who have 9 to shoot. George banks it in. How about that? The first 3 of the game by either team, and it's on a bank shot.
A bank shot that Paul George did not call.
About a 10-second difference between the game and shot clocks at the end of the first. Durant. And another turnover on a misfire by KD.
Sometimes you can be too unselfish. I mean, KD got 2 feet in the paint on a smaller defender, just up and over. Shooter, it's an easy layup for him.
10 points, 7 rebounds for Durant, but a couple of turnovers. And the Thunder can take the final shot of the opening frame. George trying to shake Durant. Now the switch. Jerebko's on George. Cabarrot gets to the loose ball, lets it fly with 1 second left, and short. The lowest scoring first quarter this season for the Golden State Warriors, who are trying to end a 3-game losing streak. They're down 5 after 1.
Good effort. We got back in transition. I think both teams had a hard time scoring. That's obviously why it's such a low-scoring game after 1. But, you know, we just got to keep staying with it. You got to have the stamina to do it for the full 48.
What can you tell us about the injury to Terrence Ferguson?
I haven't heard anything yet. I know he's getting examined back there in the locker room, so I'll probably find out more at halftime.
All right, Billy,
thank you.
Oklahoma City shot 38% from the floor in the first quarter. The Warriors 35%. Durant and Thompson had 16 of the 18 first quarter points. Damian Jones had the other basket. Might have actually been the first basket, if I recall correctly. Obviously, Steph Curry out again tonight for the 7th straight game with a groin injury. Kevon Looney picks up a foul, so Dennis Schroeder at the line for the Thunder. 2 points so far in the game. A week from Friday, an NBA doubleheader on ESPN to close out the month of November. The Rockets and the Spurs at 8 Eastern. Houston playing better and won 4 in a row going into tonight. And then at 10:30, it's the Nuggets and the Blazers, with coverage starting with NBA Countdown at 7. Boy, how about Portland tonight coming in, Chauncey, with the best record in the West. They lose by more than 40. Now, it's in Milwaukee. The Bucks are great at home, but wow.
Yeah, that's you know, every year you're going to have 1 or 2 of those games where either you can't miss a shot or you can't make a shot. And that's one of those nights. But nice shot by Klay Thompson there. But you got to give Milwaukee some credit, man. That team is really playing well. Coach Bud has put his imprint on that team quicker than it usually happens. I mean, Greek Freak, what can we not say about him that we haven't said already?
Second best record in the NBA, Milwaukee, behind Toronto. Thompson pulls up for three and hits. First three of the night for Klay Thompson.
They better be careful. They know he scores in bunches.
He was just 5 for 27 from three his last 5 games, and just doesn't have the same airspace because Steph Curry's not on the floor. Foul called here on Jerebko, so that's 2 on him. Amadou Diallo, a rookie from Kentucky, a second-round draft pick at the foul line. Want to create your dream 3 versus 3 team? Gather your friends and play in the Junior NBA 3 versus 3 leagues presented by Under Armour. Parents can sign up today at juniornba3v3.com. One out of 2 for Diallo, and Oklahoma City leads by 3. Thompson, catch and shoot. Too strong. Jerebko, a second chance opportunity. Thompson will fire again. This one's good.
Oh, I tell you that. Nice timeout right there by Coach Donovan. You don't want to let him keep getting shots at the basket. He can keep cooking quick.
Michelle Beadle with his Taco Bell studio update. Check out Vince Carter, point number 25,000 on, you guessed it, a dunk. The 22nd NBA player to reach that mile mark in the loss. Dave and Chauncey.
What was Paul doing in your seat, by the way, during countdown?
I don't know. We're going to talk about that. Paul got to get out of my seat. He's bringing down my property value on my seat on countdown.
All of the points for the Warriors this quarter is scored by Klay Thompson. It's an 8-1 run. If memory serves, didn't Vince Carter come into the NBA 1 year after you?
Yes,
He's still
did.
going strong.
Vince and I graduated, and Paul Pierce and a host of other great players graduated high school the same year, 1995. So we're all proud to see Vince still not only playing, but dunking for his 25,000th point. Wow. Congrats, VC.
Now Sean Livingston called for a foul on the other end. His first, Luwawu Cabarrot hit a 3 for Oklahoma City to give the Thunder the lead back. Warriors trying to end a 3-game losing streak. It's the 4th time under Steve Kerr that they've lost 3 straight games. They have never had a 4-game losing streak since Kerr took over. The last one for the Warriors occurred in 2013. And they've got Portland on Friday here. So it will not get easier.
I'm sure Portland is ready to get back on that court again. Anytime you lose like that, you're just ready for a do-over.
Livingston just got another foul, so that's 2 quick ones on him. 13 foul. Good defense there, and then a collision. Noel is hurt for Oklahoma City. Lee, step back 3, buries it. Noel still down, and now hops up, but needs some assistance quickly. Farm, watch Nerlens Noel. Watch the goggles as Schroeder accidentally elbows his teammate, and you see the lens pop out of those protective goggles that Nerlens Noel was wearing. And so he was taken back to the Thunder locker room. Terrence Ferguson had to leave to go back to the locker room in the first quarter.
Hopefully he's okay and that the glass or anything didn't break and cut him.
Thunder also without Alex Abrines because of illness. Russell Westbrook was shaken up in the first quarter. Looks to be all right, but has not checked back in yet. Here's Damian Lee.
Lee made a nice big 3 in the corner before the break, and he's a nice little floater right there.
Lee's played a bunch of minutes the last couple games. Did not score in the last contest, but against Dallas in 19 minutes, he had 13 points. Jerebko wide open. Can't hit the 3. First lead for the Warriors since the start of the game. Schroeder gets it to go and one. Looney commits the foul.
Love Schroeder's patience right there in the play. Had a roller right there in the pocket for the pass, but chose to shoot it. Very nice mid-range jump shooter he is. Look at him right here, steady, looking him off the entire time. Gets to a spot, pulls up. Very nice shot. Always been a very good mid-range jump shooter. Nice free throw there. You wonder and see if he's going to expand his game at some point, but very steady.
Westbrook back on the floor, so he and Schroeder are playing together again, as they did for a little bit in the first quarter. Thompson, an offensive foul is called. That is 2 on Clay.
And you got to give Amadou some credit right there. He's gotten 2 offensive fouls called against him right now. Scrappy defender, very young, but picking up the game, the NBA game, very quickly.
Thompson defending Schroeder. Livingston is on Westbrook. Schroeder in the paint, drops it in.
Very nice teardrop. And that's one of the things I want to see if Dennis and Russ can play a lot of minutes together. Because if so, I mean, how athletic and how fast can they be in that backcourt?
Schroeder had been a starter in Atlanta. He was traded for Carmelo Anthony in the offseason as he gets to the rim but can't finish. Kept alive by Adams. Westbrook for 3. He's 1 for 5. That was his first three-point attempt. Batted ahead by Jerebko to lead, and he missed the layup.
Oh, nice heady play by Jonas Jerebko right there.
Patterson, no. Nobody can make anything. Even Klay Thompson. Westbrook out to Schroeder, only a 31% three-point shooter, but that one is good, and the lead is 6 for Oklahoma City.
We just talked about seeing if he can expand his range. Nice play by Russell Westbrook. Dennis Schroeder gets his feet set, focus, knocks it down, follow through, bucket.
Exclusively available on ESPN Plus, More Than an Athlete is an 8-episode series that explores the unique bond between LeBron James and longtime friends turned business partners Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, and Randy Mims. The first 2 episodes are available right now, so start your free trial of ESPN Plus. Terrence Ferguson, we're told, a left ankle injury and will not return for Oklahoma City tonight. Dennis Schroeder with 12 points to lead the Thunder in scoring, 10 coming here in the second quarter. No basket, foul on the floor. The first on the Thunder here in the second quarter. And it's on Westbrook. That's 2 personal fouls on Russ. Quinn Cook gets it to go off glass. Ends an 8-0 Oklahoma City run.
Quinn Cook has been so steady for this team. Nice. Then Schroeder turned on the Jets, trying to turn the corner there.
Like a blur, Schroeder to the rim. There was a lot of people that wondered about Dennis Schroeder and how he would fit in with this team. He told Billy Donovan when the trade went down, hey, I just want to win. I'm happy to come off the bench. Well, maybe happy is a strong word, but he was willing. He was willing. As George gets it, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point opportunity.
Paul George is playing amazing. But again, you have to give Dennis Schroeder some credit, but look at Paul George right here with the right to left crossover. Takes the contact, finish, and 1. Very nice. Very nice.
So obviously, Chauncey, last year the Thunder lost in the first round of the playoffs, and they make the move to get Schroeder. It doesn't help them in terms of shooting, but it does give them another score. So, how much better are the Thunder because they have a guy like Schroeder coming off the bench, or who can play with Russ at the same time?
Well, it's a great luxury to have. You have a starting point guard coming off your bench. Oh, Paul George tried to get an easy kick out. Nice extra play by Steven Adams there, but having a point guard coming off your bench, it eases the coach's mind. Nice KD in his kill spot right there. Like I said, KD, when he gets to his spot, there's nothing you can do about it.
12 points now for Durant. Thompson with 14. So 26 of the 35 points for the Warriors scored by those two. Schroeder to Adams. And a nice finish by Steven Adams, who's averaging a career high in both points and rebounds, and does obviously all the dirty work for the Thunder on the glass and the defensive end.
And you're seeing another thing that Dennis Schroeder does. Nice finish right there. But he takes a lot of pressure off of Russell. You know, Russell doesn't have to come down and make every single play.
Adams, pretty, and it spins home for Steven Adams.
You rarely see back to the basket players anymore in this game. He's a real five-man. He really is. He's a real center. He's physical, has a presence down there, can score back to the basket.
Quinn Cook from long range, not there. Cook 0 for 2 from 3, comes in shooting close to 50% from three-point range. Westbrook trying to shake Klay Thompson, puts up an air ball. And then Steven Adams takes a shot upstairs. Klay Thompson picks up his third foul.
That's not good. You have no Steph Curry over there, no Draymond. They're really dependent on, you know, Klay to stay in the game, and not only stay in the game, but be dominant.
He's the leading scorer tonight for Golden State as Adams is at the line, shooting 2. You know, you look at the other guy there in street clothes, not Draymond Green, but you know, you forget sometimes that DeMarcus Cousins is on this team, and they're not only going to get Steph and Draymond Green back within the week more than likely, but we were watching DeMarcus Cousins warm up before the game. He's starting to do a lot more in practice. He's not doing 5-on-5 yet, and there still is no timetable for his return, but at some point this season, they're going to add a 20-10-5 guy to their roster.
Yes, indeed. Yes, they will. And I in particular was really excited to see him out there on the floor as a guy that, nice shot by Russell Westbrook, as a guy that's had that injury, you know, just watching him move around, and you know, it makes me smile to see that he's gonna be just fine when he gets back.
The Warriors aren't fine right now, though. They're down 13 at home to the Thunder against the Chicago Bulls back on October 29th. But he does have 3 fouls, and when you're as good of a defender as he is, now you take him out of the lineup for, you know, potentially the final 4 minutes of the half. You know, the Thunder are going to look to take advantage already up 13.
And 3 fouls takes away your aggressiveness on both ends. He's a guy that competes on the defensive end. You got to be careful being handsy out there. But even on the other end, you got to worry about push-offs and charges and things of that nature.
So a 21-6 run by the Thunder over the last 4 minutes. Oklahoma City returns to Oklahoma following this game for a 4-game homestand starting Friday against Charlotte. They'll take on Kemba Walker, who had a 2-game stretch where he had 103 points.
I would not want to be taking on Kemba Walker right now.
Durant blocked. Diallo swats Durant, tried to go behind the back. It ends up in the hands of George. Reverse stuff. And the lead is 15, largest of the night for the Thunder.
I don't know if he meant that pass, but he'll get an assist on that.
It worked out.
Nice defense by Hamidou.
Durant falling away, gets the bank shot. That ends a 9-0 Thunder run, and KD now with 14. But obviously they're going to need help from somebody other than Durant and Thompson. They have 28 of the 39 points. The next highest scorer is Damian Lee with 5 points. Westbrook has 5 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Can't bank that one home. Batted out by Adams to Quinn Cook. Good job by Paul George with the denial. Leads the NBA in steals, George does, coming into tonight. Looney drives, slams, and is fouled.
Tough decision by Russell right there, going to gamble on Looney, who he knows is not a three-point shooter. Kind of a home run play. Now you can possibly give up a three-point play on a bad decision.
Foul on Diallo. Diallo and Kevon Looney, who has dropped a lot of weight, is healthy now. He had hip issues when he came into the NBA as a first-round pick out of UCLA. They rave about his basketball IQ, which obviously fits in great with all the shooting on this team. Iguodala shaken up a little bit, trying to defend the play. Bodies on the floor. Jump ball. It'll be George and Looney.
Talk about Looney, you know, that's what summers are for. Getting your body in shape, knowing what you need to do to get on the floor. And he's just, when you talk to some of the players, he's just dependable. You know, they just depend on him. They trust him to just do what he's supposed to do. He accepts his role, and he's done a good job.
Took up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to help him lose some of that weight.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Because I know one thing, after tomorrow, Thanksgiving, I know I'm gonna gain at least 2 or 3 pounds tomorrow on Thanksgiving. So maybe I need to give Looney a call and see what I need to do after tomorrow.
Plus, you can try that out in the studio if anybody gives an opinion you don't agree with or makes fun of your opinion.
Well, I might have to try some of that on Paul Pierce next time.
Durant no good on the 3. Durant is 0 for 3 from three-point land. 1 for his last 20 from 3, by the way. Russell Westbrook not close. I don't know that Durant's ever had a 1 for 20 in his life stretch, by the way, from three-point range. But the last 5 games, his three-point percentage is down to 30 on the year. Steven Adams commits a foul for the Thunder, sending Looney back to the line. 2:17 on the clock. 11-point Thunder lead. Looney, 4th year out of UCLA. He's from Milwaukee, 22 years of age. Coming up on the Toyota halftime, guess who's got the best record in the West? No, it's not the Warriors. No, it's not Portland. It is Memphis. And Michelle, Jalen, and Paul will have that story. And obviously, LeBron James returned to Cleveland.
And how about that? How about the job J.B. Bickerstaff is doing in Memphis, taking on a tough situation? But when you have 2 vets like they have, and you have an identity already, you got a chance to win some ball games.
Schroeder, great pass by Adams. And Schroeder with 16 points, a game high.
You see what I mean there? They play off of Adams in the post, and they throw it to him. He can score, but not only that, he's looking at cutters. He's looking at pop guys. I mean, he does a very good job of playmaking out of the post. That's a luxury to have when you have a big guy like that.
Quinn Cook with his 2nd basket on the other end. 10-point game.
Here we are again. Now, people might be reluctant to help, and he goes down there and he scores the basketball. I mean, Steven Adams is so underrated. I love watching him play.
And a few years ago, that really wasn't an option. He wasn't a threat down there, but he's really improved his offensive game over the years. Schroeder hits the deck. An offensive foul is called. Durant slams the ball in disgust over the turnover.
There he is, the pesky defender. Dennis Schroeder creating extra opportunities for his team.
First on Lee, minute 20 remaining. Warriors back with an 8. But 9 turnovers here in the first half. And they've only forced 3. Westbrook against Cook. Gives it up to Adams. And Adams scores. 10 in the quarter for Adams. Westbrook now with 4 assists. Inside a minute to go. 58-44. 14-point lead. Iguodala fouled. Got it up on the rim. He'll go to the line. Well, Steve Kerr said, we're in the real NBA right now. Our struggles are real. We've been living in a dream the last 4 years. And again, just being around here today, talking with people in the organization, coaches, players, nobody's worried that this is going to be a long-term issue. It's just how can they get wins here in the next few games until they're back at full strength or close to. If you consider full strength DeMarcus Cousins, since that's not going to happen for a few months, but at least getting the guys that were here last year back healthy, Draymond Green and Steph Curry.
Well, I think they need to play a little faster. You know, they need to get more shots up. I mean, you can lean on KD and Clay. I mean, you can beat a lot of teams in the league being able to do that.
Not sure where that pass was going by Westbrook. Here comes Iguodala in the front court. First turnover of the quarter by the Thunder, but the Warriors give it right back. It's rare when the assists and turnovers for the Warriors are even. 11 assists, 10 turnovers in the first half for Golden State.
Yeah, this is something that you don't see all of the time. Them struggling making decisions, turning the basketball over. Some of these shots, quick shots, are almost like shooting turnovers.
A difference of 7 seconds between the clocks. Westbrook, oh, what a pass to Schroeder. Kicks it out to Grant. 3 not there. Kept alive by Adams. Westbrook to George. Gets 2 with 5.5 seconds to go.
And Dave, they're just playing harder. They're just playing harder. They know they can get layups. They're picking up full court on a play like that.
Here's Looney from half court. And Golden State down 14 at halftime. At home, where the Warriors have lost just once this season. Toyota halftime after these messages.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all
To NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. The Golden State Warriors have not lost 4 consecutive games in 6 years, but they are down 14 at halftime to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Dave Pasch back with Chauncey Billups, and the problems for the Warriors over the last few games, problems again tonight. Meanwhile, the Thunder attacking Golden State, plus 20 points in the paint, and that is our limelight, brought to you by Corona Extra.
Yeah, no rim protection down there. You look at the guy, we talked about Paul George having a career high in pretty much every category. Attacks the basket, not worrying about getting blocked. I mean, takes the contact, gets an and one. And also Dennis Schroeder. Very good in Russell's absence, but he's very good with him there too. Gets in there with the teardrop, making good plays off the pass. But notice his theme here. The paint, paint, paint. They're attacking the paint. And Steven Adams, they haven't been able to guard him yet. He's making plays, passing the basketball, and also you look at him right there, back to the basket with the dream shake, if you will. But you look at the stats right here. Very efficient these guys are. You just can't stop them. They're having their way in this game today, and we'll see how the second half goes.
You talked about points in the paint, also points off turnovers, plus 13 for Oklahoma City. Golden State was 3 of 16 from three-point range, and the guys talked about it in the studio that Durant and Klay Thompson have now combined for 31 of the 49 Warrior points. So got to find that third score here in the second half, or just Durant keep hitting threes.
Well, that'll help. You look at them right now, they're starting to try to double team Steven Adams a little bit down there on the block.
They get a turnover. The first 3, by the way, for Durant tonight. He was 1 for his last 20 prior to that made triple. Adams breaks up the pass intended for Jones. Nice move by Diallo, driving to the rim. He's starting the second half for the injured Terrence Ferguson, who went down with a left ankle injury in the first quarter.
You can see his confidence growing every single game. I mean, he gets to the basket. He's a very good athlete, good in transition. And defensively, he competes.
Now Diallo having to face Durant. He fouls him. Durant hits it. He'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. So 5 quick points for Kevin Durant here in the third quarter.
Taking advantage of the rook right there, getting in his spot, knows he can make these shots. And that's just a tough foul right there by Hamidou.
Durant averaging 27 points per game. It's his best since joining the Warriors. Now in his 3rd season with Golden State. After 9 with the Seattle Oklahoma City franchise. Teammate of Russell Westbrook for 8 seasons. Turnover by the Thunder. Second turnover here in the quarter. And now Iguodala to the rim. Gets the layup on Adams. Golden State back within 8 of Oklahoma City early in the third. And now the crowd's starting to get into it. They've been quiet tonight. You don't normally say that about the fans here at Oracle. Good double team on Adams. out of bounds. It will stay with the Thunder, but just 2.3 on the shot clock.
I tell you what, you can tell that Coach Kerr did a lot of coaching at the half. They made some adjustments. They're playing a lot harder. They're competing, and they're doubling Steven Adams. Good coaching by Steve Kerr.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm.
Form without the express written consent of the NBA.
I don't think we really need to turn things around. I mean, at the end of the day, we're 12-6. We're not 6-12. So, win a few games here, 15-6. 2 games, 14-6. At the end of the day, it's not what our record we want it to be to start the season, but it's still a pretty dang good record. I think a lot of teams would take, in second place, almost without, huge MVP and Steph and Draymond. We've been shorthanded, so we've been fighting, but it's going to take playing our brand of basketball, ball movement, switching on defense, just having fun.
Well, you think about last year, they did not have the best record in the West going into the playoffs as Klay Thompson scores there to make it a 6-point game. And they still won the championship. Klay Thompson not panicking. And it really doesn't seem like anybody in the organization is.
Well, they shouldn't be panicking. I mean, the most important thing, literally the most important thing is them being healthy when the playoffs start. I mean, they know each other. They know how to win. The synergy is unreal.
Deep three by Klay Thompson. It's a 3-point game.
There he is. You can't let him get open. Good job of finding him in transition, but they just need to be healthy.
(13-2) run by Golden State. Westbrook attacks and finishes. Just his 3rd basket of the game. 7 points now for Westbrook.
Very nice attack in the basket right there by Russell Westbrook. But I love the intensity. The intensity is really picked up for both teams. Golden State comes out very physical, and now here's OKC ready to do the same thing.
Thompson couldn't get that one.
Heat check.
19 points for Thompson, 3 of 7 from 3-point range. Westbrook is fouled by Cook, and he'll go to the line for the first time tonight. First on Cook, and the first on the Warriors in the quarter.
And Russ is starting to assert himself offensively and try to take advantage of a smaller guy in Quinn Cook.
Coming up on NBA TV Friday, Detroit hosts Houston. The Lakers back home taking on Utah. Next Thursday, TNT. The Warriors are at Toronto as they start a road trip. And the Clippers are in Sacramento. ESPN doubleheader Friday. Houston at San Antonio, Denver at Portland. Westbrook misses both free throws, but a loose ball foul is called on Golden State, so it'll be a side out for the Thunder.
The usual amount of missed free throws in this game. I mean, Klay missed 2 earlier in the game. Now Russ misses 2.
Jones with a block. Another one. Damian Jones swats it away. George around the screen. Oh, a 3 goes. He took a shot to the face as well from Jones as he drains a 3.
What a shot. What focus right there with the big guy contesting for Paul George. Disappointed he didn't get the foul call right there, but wow, what a shot.
It was on the way down that Damian Jones got him in the head, but he did not get the call. Klay Thompson off balance. Rolls off the rim, but he'll go to the line. Missed 2 free throws earlier in the game, Thompson did. Diallo picks up the foul, his 3rd. All the talk about Kevin Durant, and next year, what about Klay Thompson? He'll be a free agent after this season.
Yeah, if I'm Klay, I mean, where else would I want to go? I mean, I get to play beside Steph Curry. I'm not the focal point defensively every single night. I get open shots. I mean, talk about living a dream.
One for 4, though, at the free throw line for Klay Thompson. George trying to drive on Iguodala, has it poked free, but gets it back. Durant collides with Adams and knocked the ball out of bounds. 5 to shoot for the Thunder. Seeing a lot more deflections. blocked shots by the Warriors here in the third quarter. 3 to shoot. George Rising bricks the 3. And Cook has it now. Durant, pull up 3. No good. And a technical foul is called here on Paul George.
A technical foul issued to the Thunder's number 13, Paul George. Technical for Golden State.
George says something here to Scott Twardowski and gets teed up. And Paul's still pointing to where he got fouled on the previous possession on the way down by Damian Jones, and it wasn't called.
That's exactly what happened. He's still disappointed from being hit in the face on the three-point shot a few plays back.
Thompson up 2 of 5 at the free throw line. It's a 6-point game. Westbrook attacks. Offensive foul on Westbrook. With the off arm, made contact with Damian Jones. 3rd on Westbrook.
Thought that was inadvertent, but
me too. I'm with you. I don't think that's an offensive foul. He didn't really extend it, did he?
no.
Thompson gets free. Can't get the 3. He's got the last 7 points for Golden State. 41 of the 61 for the Warriors scored by Durant and Thompson. Adams there with the offensive rebound. One of the best in the game at that.
A way to get up and down the court for Russell Westbrook. Created a great wide open 3 in the corner, which allowed Steven Adams to get that offensive rebound. Coach Donovan talked about wanting to push on misses and makes and play faster, and that's a prime example.
Doubling Durant with 7 to shoot. Fires to Iguodala. Cook wide open. And Quinn Cook with the triple.
Great play by Iggy, saying there's a better shooter wide open. Why not get him the basketball? Very good play by Andre Iguodala. Smart. Their Swiss Army knife.
Westbrook, great pass as Grant is fouled. Klay Thompson picks up his 4th foul.
Look at Klay right here, gets hit by a screen. Pushes him from behind on the play right there.
And Grant with the free throw. Jeremy Grant, 5th-year pro out of Syracuse, 3rd with Oklahoma City. Dad Harvey won an NBA championship with the Lakers. Uncle Horace, of course, a member of many of those great teams in Chicago.
Nice job of pressuring the ball right there by Schroeder.
That's a tough ask, huh? Having to run with Klay is so good at catch and shoot. Boy, Durant, wild shot attempt by KD.
Forced one up right there trying to get a foul call.
And then George hits a 3 on the other end.
Good defense to offense from Paul George right there.
And the lead is back to 9 for the Thunder. Good passing that time by the Warriors, and Iguodala with the throwdown.
Nice. Iggy still athletic, throwing it down in the paint. Must feel nice to be able to dunk like that.
Hey, if Vince Carter can do it at 41, Iguodala can do it at 34.
I don't know. Those are two different human beings right there, Pass.
Foul on Schroeder, reaching in on Quinn Cook. That's a 3rd team foul. And the 2nd personal on Schroeder. Iguodala is so important for this Warrior franchise during this dynasty.
Look at him up and under right there. Even with big Steven Adams in the paint, no worries. I grew up and dunk it on anybody. Nice by Iggy.
In his 6th year now with the Warriors. Klay Thompson to the bench with 21 points but 4 fouls. Here's Kevin Durant, who has 20 points and 11 rebounds. Durant makes a good pass there to Lee. Lee pays it off by knocking down a 3-pointer.
Taking advantage of his minutes here. Damian Lee is really playing well. That's his 2nd 3 of the game. steps up, big, strong body on the defense.
There's Grant with the jam. Nice find.
I'm telling you, Dennis Schroeder, I'm telling you, he is just a playmaker. Keeps pressure on the basket every single play. He's trying to get 2 feet in the paint.
Durant around the Jones screen, goes behind the back, scores over Paul George. Finals MVP each of the last 2 years. Won a regular season MVP with the Thunder back in 2014. And Durant gets his 12th rebound here, looking to push tempo with the Warriors down 4. Here's Lee for 3. Not close. George will try it in the other end. And what a swing. Steve Kerr calls a timeout.
Wow. Paul George with a deep 3.
By State Farm, Dave Pasch and Chauncey Billups at Oracle, where Kevin Durant and Paul George are the leading scorers for their respective teams. George has hit 3 threes this quarter, 4 for the game. And Kevin Durant with 8 points here in the quarter. Now has 12 rebounds to go with those 22 points. The 7-point Thunder lead at the 4-minute mark of the third. Klay Thompson on the bench with 4 fouls. Paul George gets a piece of Kevin Durant, and that's the 14th foul on the Thunder and the 3rd on George.
Interested to see just how aggressive Kevin Durant will be with, you know, obviously they're missing a lot of firepower on the bench, but not only that, Klay Thompson is sitting on that bench and in foul trouble. How aggressive will he be? He may need to take some extra shots. Even he makes bad shots, but they need some firepower, need some scoring.
Durant's taken 17 shots, made 9. Throws a behind the back pass that was not smart.
Well, that's a bad pass right there. It's a bad decision, especially, you know, they're coming to trap you. They have to trap him. There are no other deadly shooters on the floor. So I wouldn't even call for a screen if I'm him. It's just a poor decision, but he knows now, and I'm sure he'll be better in the next one.
And then Looney, who ran into the shoulder of Schroeder, picks up the foul, his 3rd. By the way, Nerlens Noel is back in the game. He's got a Band-Aid under that right eye, where earlier he was wearing goggles and the lens popped out when Schroeder accidentally elbowed him in the first half. Schroeder buries a 3. That's 2 triples for him tonight.
And that's a nice play made right there by Russell Westbrook, attacking the basket, collapsing the defense, and finding the 3-point shooter.
6-0 run by Oklahoma City after Golden State cut the deficit to 4. Lee steps inside the arc and connects. Damian Lee, who was a teammate of Dennis Schroeder in Atlanta last year, was a 4-year player at Drexel, then a grad transfer to Louisville. So, I mean, most guys don't play 4 years of college. He played 5, yet he still finds a roster spot in the NBA with the defending champs.
And if you're this team, you want guys that know how to play and guys that have been around. And even though he hasn't been in the NBA long, just plays with a nice veteran type of poise out there.
Good hands by the Thunder. First Noel, then Westbrook. Livingston knew he had to get rid of it with the shot clock at 1, and he could not hit.
Actually, really good awareness right there by Sean Livingston to get that shot off.
Schroeder again. He's 3 for 3 from 3-point range.
Ooh, I tell you, 3-ball, getting to the basket. I mean, such an underrated acquisition this summer, getting Dennis Schroeder to back up Russell Westbrook.
Durant, no. Here's Westbrook, 1-on-4. Kicks it out to Schroeder. Tries again. This time, it's off target.
Heat check, but look at him. He's getting back into the play, talking on defense.
Lee finishes and lands awkwardly. Thought he was fouled on the play. Westbrook back down court. No good. But an offensive rebound by Noel. George.
Very nice play by Nerlens Noel right there. Getting an extra possession. Not only that, having the awareness to find Paul George coming down the lane.
Second foul on Quinn Cook. And the Warriors are over the foul limit for the remainder of the quarter as Paul George will go to the free throw line. George had made his last 24 free throws until earlier tonight when he missed his only attempt of the game.
You didn't jinx him, did you?
No, I didn't say anything at the time, man. I swear. I can say it now because he already missed. Next Friday, a doubleheader on ESPN starting at 8 with the Rockets and Spurs, followed by the Nuggets and Blazers at 10:30. Coverage starting with NBA Countdown at 7. You think the Rockets are back? Everybody's waiting to see when the Warriors will get back to form. Is Houston back to where they thought they would be at this point?
You know, I think they're playing better, starting to find some synergy out there. You know, end of the day, their defense has gotten a lot better. But they got to make shots. You know, they have to make three-point shots to be good, and Houston's going to be a team to be dealt with. I mean, at the end of the day, let's just be honest. They're going to be a team to be dealt with.
Rockets had won 4 in a row coming into tonight. Looney penetrates and draws a foul. That's on George, his 4th, and the Thunder are over the foul limit.
If you're Paul George, you're disappointed to get your 4th foul on Kevin Looney when you're guarding KD. I'd rather waste my fouls guarding Kevin Durant than on Looney.
Although Looney's not a good free throw shooter. 73% of the year, but 55% last year, and he's kind of hovered around that 50% mark for most of his career. And that's the other issue without having Steph Curry. I mean, Klay Thompson has missed 3 free throws in this game. They've missed 6 free throws. Those are big in these close games that they're finding themselves in here during this losing streak. Schroeder tried the lob, broken up. Great play by Looney, but they can't get the loose ball. Noel does and puts it in.
This OKC team plays so hard. They go after every rebound, every loose ball. I mean, deflections almost every play down. Lead the league in steals, defensive efficiency. I mean, they just compete every single play.
Durant, another turnover. George pushing tempo. He throws it away. Lead trailer 3 off the mark. Jerebko with good hustle. And now Durant is fouled, gets it up, and it drops. A 3-point chance for KD. 24 points now for Kevin Durant.
Heads up play by Kevin Durant right here. Creating the action, getting the contact, and having the wherewithal to get it up on the rim real soft for the and one. Jonas Jerebko. We haven't talked about Jonas. Jonas has been a very good addition as well. Gets them, like you just seen, extra rebounds, extra possessions, can pick and pop, competitive defensively. He's been a very good pickup as well.
Warriors trying to get some momentum going into the 4th quarter. Can they get a stop here? They pulled back with an 8. George in the paint, cut off by Durant, so he'll bring it back outside. Now drives again. They triple him. Patterson from the elbow, no. Cleared by Durant. That is 14 rebounds now for KD. Durant on the season averages 7 rebounds per game.
Calls for the pick and roll, forces the switch, trying to get Paul George off of him.
Durant
going to get right to his spot for a shot.
Can't hit it over Patterson, but Looney there with the offensive rebound. They don't have to hurry here, and they get it back to Durant. 5 seconds to go.
Smart play by Looney.
Durant, no good again. But a better quarter for the Warriors, only down 8 after 3, trying to end a 3-game losing streak.
Dave Pasch for Steve Kerr. Coach, you guys were able to cut into that deficit a little bit. What did you like about the quarter?
We rebounded better. We just got after a little bit more competitively.
What'll be a point of emphasis to your guys here in the huddle?
We got to take care of the ball. You know, the possession game is in their favor. We got to even out the possessions by taking care of the ball and rebounding. All right, see you later.
They did have 13 turnovers, Chauncey, but only 3 that quarter. However, they've allowed 15 offensive rebounds, and they've also allowed Dennis Schroeder to carve them up for 24 points.
Yeah, they have nobody that can stay in front of Dennis. And I like that he's continuing to attack the entire time.
Livingston from Looney, banks it home. First points of the night for Sean Livingston, the 14-year pro. Spent a little bit of time with the Thunder, now in his 5th season here at Golden State. Diallo, no good. Batted around, and Jerebko tracks it down. Klay Thompson starts the 4th quarter. He's got 21 points, 4 fouls. He attacks, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Nice attack right there. Again, he's in the same position that KD was in. He's going to have to carry the scoring load right now with KD on the bench. And you see him come in the game right there, attacks. Get 2 early free throws. You want to see that ball go through the basket.
Luwawu-Cabarrot picks up the foul, the first in the quarter on the Thunder. And Thompson now 3 of 6 at the free throw line. Durant with a season high 14 rebounds to go with 25 points.
Oh, Tim picked up that foul, huh?
Yep, Tim. That's Tim's first. Clay gets both free throws, and it's a 6-point game again. Klay Thompson's 8th NBA season, an all-star 4 consecutive years. Tim brings it back out after almost turning it over. And he misses the layup. Out of bounds off Diallo. Golden State ball. Warriors are trying to end a 3-game losing streak. Only the 4th time they've had that under Steve Kerr. They have not lost 4 in a row since 2013.
And if I'm OKC, I'm putting the ball in Dennis Schroeder's hands with no Russ or no Paul George on the floor. Very nice finish right there by Klay Thompson. Again, getting to the basket, very aggressive, as he should be.
25 for Thompson. Noel from Schroeder.
There you go, right on cue. Get the ball in Dennis Schroeder's hands. Let him make plays for you.
Livingston, too strong. Patterson with the backside rebound, and no Warriors underneath to get offensive rebounds. You heard Steve Kerr talk about that. They're getting dominated in terms of second chance points and points in the paint.
Same play, side pick and roll. You force a switch.
Schroeder into the lane again. Tough shot. He gets the roll. Dennis Schroeder. Hey, you said this when we were on the way over. You think he might be the best backup point guard in the NBA?
Well, I do, because I think he deserves to be a starter. You know, so it's almost kind of unfair calling him a backup point guard. Wow, nice play by Nerlens.
Noel sends it back. Now Schroeder leaves it for Diallo, and a good defensive play by the Warriors. Diallo able to collect and now wait for everybody to get a reset. Schroeder, another 3-point basket, his 4th of the game. He's got 29 points. And Russell Westbrook has 7 points, and the Thunder are up 11 at Golden State. Jerebko, they need this. He doesn't make it, though, and he has not been shooting it that great from out there. It's one of the reasons they signed him.
Slow it down, get a good shot. Get the ball. There you go. Get the ball where it needs to be. Let him make decisions.
Jerebko has given him nothing tonight in terms of scoring. He does have 5 rebounds, but 0 for 3 from the floor, all 3-point attempts. Timer at 4. Schroeder gets past Livingston. It won't drop, but there's Noel. Misses. But an extra possession. Diallo, no good. How much of what we're seeing in terms of paint points given up and offensive rebounds is because Draymond Green is not in the lineup?
Well, Draymond Green, he changes everything for you defensively. I mean, he's helping on pin downs. He's taking charges. He's taking one-on-one matchups. I mean, he has an impact, and I think they get their toughness. He's their vocal and emotional leader out there on both ends. So a lot of this has a lot to do with the absence of Draymond.
Offensive foul called here as Patterson commits his first personal. Draymond Green out for the 3rd straight game, 6 of the last 8. The bulk of those with the toe injury, of course, the 1 game due to suspension. They miss him, and obviously Steph Curry big time right now.
The NBA on ESPN is
most underrated acquisition of the summer. Nobody talks about it, but how grateful do you have to be to have a starter coming off of your bench behind, you know, a former MVP? But he's showing his range from the 3-point land. He's getting to the basket. They can't stay in front of him, and when they do, he's dropping it off for lobs and dunks. He's playing a terrific game.
He's got 7 points here in the 4th quarter. Spent the last 5 years with the Hawks. He's 25 years old, from Germany. Klay Thompson falling away, and it won't drop. Warriors cut it to 89-85, but 7 straight points by OKC. Paul George again hasn't played yet in the quarter. Turnover. Jerebko misses again. He's 0 for 5. And bad injury on the other end for the Thunder as Diallo is shaken up. The third member of the Thunder to go down. Terrence Ferguson hurt his ankle in the first half, will not return. Nerlens Noel with the facial injury in the first half. He's back on the floor, and now Diallo, their promising rookie out of Kentucky.
This didn't look good at all. This did not look good at all. Hopefully he's.
Ooh.
It's not as bad. Wow.
All right, welcome back to Oracle Arena. Hamidou Diallo, 20-year-old rookie out of Kentucky, with an awkward landing on his leg, his left leg. We're not going to show it again. It was pretty tough to watch, and they've got him up on a stretcher now, and his teammates looking on. So several members of the Warriors, including Kevin Durant, were down there to check on him. And an ovation from the crowd here.
Like you said, they're very, very tough to watch. Very unfortunate. I mean, Hamidou's a young kid. He's playing well. Hopefully we get some good news on him.
Again, they already lost Terrence Ferguson tonight to an ankle injury. Don't know the severity of it. Just know he will not return. Thunder head back home after tonight for a 4-game homestand starting Friday against Charlotte. Chauncey, when you were playing and something like this happened and you got 7 minutes left in a game, how hard is it to continue when you've seen one of your guys go down the way he did?
It's tough. It really is. It's tough, because you spend every single day of your life pretty much with your team, and you guys become family. So, your heart is just hurting at that time, and you're praying that he's okay, is basically what you're doing. But it's hard to get back and really, really compete at the level that you once did a few minutes before.
The reason the Thunder have this lead is because how they've attacked and how aggressive they've been offensively. We'll see if that continues. Russell Westbrook just 3 of 13 from the floor. He does have 8 assists, 8 rebounds, and more importantly, his team's up 11. Pass a little high, but Grant corrals and buries a 3-pointer, the 11th of the night for Oklahoma City.
Russ is struggling from the field, but I like his patience out here. He's not trying to force the issue. He's allowing other guys to make plays. And that just shows that he has a ton of confidence in everybody on the roster.
Paul George just picked up his 5th foul, trying to fight through that screen. Warriors have missed their last 6 shots. They've gone 3.5 minutes without a field goal. Kevin Durant, 25 points and 14 rebounds. Timer at 4. Durant, good play by Grant. It's another turnover by Durant trying to pass the ball.
And again, I just think KD is just being a little too passive out here. He should be aggressive and trying to score and get baskets. But you look at Russ, takes advantage of a smaller guy. They came to double team. He backed it out. Patience.
He was rocking the baby. You see him rock the baby? And actually, the cradle that he had was a big cradle. I wonder if that's because his wife just had twins a few days ago.
Well,
one of the bigger cradles you see when you rock the baby.
Congratulations to people say Russ. Congratulations to Russ for having twins. Russ didn't have twins. His wife had twins. We congratulate her.
14 straight points for Oklahoma City. Starting to run away with this one, up 18. Thompson catch and shoot. It's good, and Klay Thompson with 27. Start of a 4-game homestand for Golden State. Portland is up next on Friday, followed by Sacramento and Orlando. They're hopeful to get, as Adams gets the jam on the alley-oop, they're hopeful to get both Curry and Draymond Green back at the end of the homestand, but do not expect them to play in the next 2 games. Durant. And a powerful move by Kevin Durant to get to the rim.
Strong drive by KD right there, putting pressure on the defender and the rim. Nice by Paul George.
That's 25 now for George.
Put a little English on that finish right there, Dave.
You talk about, we saw the injury to Diallo. Think about what Paul George went through just a few years ago, and it's amazing to think he's been better after really not being himself for a year and a half after that horrific injury in the summer.
Yeah, you can tell that he puts a lot of work in on his body, on his game. And it shows. It shows every time he laces them up for the season. He just continues to get better. You look at him with 5 fouls playing, competing, still hard on the other end, saying, okay, I'm going to play the way that I play, no matter if they call a foul and I get 6.
And he's averaging 36 minutes per game, same as he did last year when he played in every game but 3. George, no good that time. Out of bounds off Adams. Golden State shooting just 33% in the quarter, and you look at the scoreboard, you see 89 points on the board for the high-powered Warriors, but obviously without 29 points per game in Steph Curry. Iguodala drives. George has to be careful with 5 personal fouls. Iguodala can't finish. Westbrook to Grant. Timeout, Steve Kerr. The lead is 20 for Oklahoma City at Orc. After the buzzer at SportsCenter with John Anderson and John Buccigross. They'll have reaction from LeBron James and his return to Cleveland. What a game between Duke and Gonzaga. Andrew Luck had an incredible comeback season. More of that on SportsCenter following after the buzzer on ESPN. They passed Chauncey Billups. Dennis Schroeder, the star of the night for the Thunder with 29 points, a season high off the bench. Oklahoma City up 20 on Golden State. The Warriors were just 10 points in the quarter. Chauncey, is it as simple as Steph Curry and Draymond Green getting back in the lineup, or are the Warriors' problems deeper than that and going to take longer to fix?
Well, I've always felt like when you play yourself into a rut, it doesn't happen in one day or one practice. It happens over time. You play yourself into a rut, so you have to play yourself out of it. But having Steph Curry back changes everything. Having Draymond back changes everything, because teams can't double KD or double Clay, or they can't play you that way. Now the floor is wide open. Steph is such a great playmaker. Draymond is such a great playmaker. So yes and no. Yes and no, to be honest with you. When you get those 2 guys back, everything changes. However, you still have to play yourself back into great spirits. You just have to.
And we talked a lot about that at some point when DeMarcus Cousins comes back, that, it's going to be seamless. You just plug in another all-star. But you look at the Boston Celtics. They lost tonight. They're 9-9. Now, they don't obviously have the firepower that the Warriors do, but they have very good offensive players. But it just isn't clicking for them. Does it matter with this Golden State team because of the type of personalities they have on this team, and because they're older than the guys on the Celtics that have to now adjust to Gordon Hayward being there?
Absolutely, it matters. And you talk about one of the most underrated. There he is. He's still knocking down threes, Dennis Schroeder. One of the most underrated things about this team that nobody talks about is the basketball IQ. Now, when Boogie does come back, they'll find a way to work him in, but they won't forget about who they are trying to do that.
DeMarcus Cousins, no timetable for his return, but he was out working out before the game, and he's doing much more in practice, not going 5-on-5 just yet. Still uncertain when he'll be back, but they do expect him to play during the regular season. It was 89-85 just a few minutes ago, but a 25-4 run by the Thunder. Here's Burton with a pull-up jumper. So if the Thunder hang on here, Chauncey, they'll be 11-6 and 11-2 in their last 13, which is the best record in the NBA during that span. Can we start talking about this Thunder team as being among the best in the West?
You absolutely can. And one of the things that I really, really love about this team is they hang their hat on the defensive side. You never know if Russ or or Paul George or Schroeder will have the big night, or Steven Adams. But one thing you do know is on the defensive end, we're going to pick up, we're going to deny passes, we're going to get in the passing lane and steal, we're going to get deflections. When you hang your hat on the defensive end of the ball, you always have a chance to win games.
And they're such a good rebounding team. They came in last in three-point shooting, but they're at 36% from three-point range tonight, 31% in the year coming in. And if Schroeder plays like this, look out. He's got 32 points.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. When he can get it going like that and you still have all those other options out there, they're a very, very dangerous team.
Remember, at this point last year, they were under 500. They were 7-9, trying to figure out how Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul George could play together. The Anthony experiment didn't work, so they moved him, and in that trade, they got Dennis Schroeder. 2 minutes to go here. Cook underneath, stripped. Wawu Cabarro brings it up, and he goes to the rim, blocked by Jacob Evans, a rookie out of Cincinnati. Jordan Bell has had a hard time getting into the rotation lately. Very important player last year on this roster, but still trying to figure out what his role is going to be this season. He only played 6 minutes the last 2 games and didn't come into this game until just a couple of minutes ago. Golden State started 10-1, but they're going to be 2-6 in their last 8 games. Their next 3 games are here before they head out on an East Coast road trip. They expect to have both Green and Curry for that trip. Burton again. Now the Warriors this season had a 21-point loss to Houston, 23-point loss to Milwaukee, where they gave up over 130 points. They've given up 120 tonight and down 28. Lee foul. He'll go to the line for 2. So first 4-game losing streak under Steve Kerr. You got to go back to February, March of 2013. That's 450 games ago. Wow. Was that your last year in the league? 2013?
14.
14. So
you know what? Actually, it was that. And 14. I mean, as many games as I played, I should have been retired. I mean, I played with actually Jonas Jerebko. Well, I can't say I played. I was on the team with him. He played. I watched in Detroit under the Hall of Fame coach right there, Mo Cheeks. That was my last year.
And how about the reception you got today at the diner? There were some Piston fans in there.
That's right. We had some Detroit folks in the Bay Area. Shout out to my Detroit folks in the Bay. Out here on vacation, having a good time.
15 years ago, NBA Finals MVP, Mr. Big Shot, and the Detroit Pistons NBA champs.
That was a long time ago, but don't feel like it, man.
Jordan Bell from outside gets the jumper. So the Warriors will fall to 12-7. The Thunder improved to 11-7 and head back home for a 4-game homestand. The second of 3 meetings between these 2 teams. Their final game will come on ABC, part of our Saturday night package, as the Warriors will visit Oklahoma City on March 16th, 2019. And it'll be Oklahoma City ball. So on a night where Russell Westbrook gets a triple-double, his first of the year, 105 for his career, 2 short of tying Jason Kidd for 3rd most all time. But it's a night where he didn't shoot the ball well, but he distributed, he played unselfishly, and he deferred to Dennis Schroeder. And the Thunder get one of its best wins of the season. 123-95. The Thunder rout the Warriors in the fourth quarter. Schroeder, a season high 32 points. His first year with his new team. And again, a triple-double for Russell Westbrook, his first this season. Congratulatory handshake from his former teammate Kevin Durant. Warriors have lost 4 in a row. For Chauncey Billups, our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave Pasch. After the buzzer is next. Good night from Oakland, where the Thunder knock off the Warriors, Golden State's first 4-game skid in 6 years.